This week, we're going to make bookmarks. First thing, this is a typical bookmark that you would just pick up at the library. So this is 2 inches wide by 7 inches length. So if you want to do a very traditional size bookmark, you want it 2 by 7, but you guys can make them a little bit different sizes. The smallest you can do is 2 inches wide by 5.5 inches. The longest you're going to do is 2 inches wide by 10 inches. If you think about this one, the width to the length ratio, it's a lot closer, right? 2 to 5.5 versus 2 to 10. This one, you're going to have to get a little more creative filling up the space. Second thing, you're going to draw a border. It doesn't have to be perfectly spaced and perfectly centered, but please use a some sort of edge, even if you don't have a ruler or something. But make your lines straight and not all wobbly, please. After you've made your border, you're going to figure out your design. So what can you do and what can't you do? You cannot do something like this. This is nice, but you guys have to include something that shows your layering, your mixing of colors, and your 3D effect. A couple examples. Beetle. If you want to just do half, I tend to do this. I kind of like to cut them in half and draw half of the object. You can see this is a beetle, but when you look close, I did the drawing first real lightly with pencil, then I did pen, and you see how there's lots of different colors in that. All right, it's not just colored one color. Same thing, I could do something like this, elephant. Notice how the sky is not just plain one color. The elephant is not just plain one color. You can see there's a little bit of like kind of a yellowy, brownish, there's like a bluish gray in the shadows. Same thing with this. Now we can zoom in a little bit. You can see there's yellow, there's like greenish blue, there's a little bit of like pinkish kind of color, like right in there, to give me a little bit of that 3D effect. So, do you have to do something complex like those? No. This is just a scribble drawing. See how it's just like it's one continuous line. And then I went back over it and did the little patches for the giraffe, and I added a little bit of hatching. But you can see all this. This is just a scribble drawing. It was one line that you don't pick up from the paper. So your drawing can be really kind of simplistic. That's fine. But notice there's still a little bit of change here where it gets darker and lighter. So what can you do? What can't you do? This is what you can not do. This is coloring book. We're going to try and get away from that. So you are more than welcome to draw a tree. But this, you know, it has a little bit of a lighter and a little bit of a darker, but it's just the same color that got lighter and darker. The sky is all the same color. Trunk, same color. Grass, same color. So if you want to draw a tree, then you got to think about something like this. Even the sky has purple and blue in it. The leaves has about 4 different shades. It's got like a yellow and then like a couple of greens, and then there's actually a little bit of purple in there. The tree trunk, same thing. It was yellow, a little bit of a brownish kind of yellow or orangey kind of brown, and then purple in there for the shadow part. And then the grass started out yellow, a little bit of a lighter green, and then a little bit of a darker green put on top to make it look like longer grass. I'm not saying that that tree is necessarily anything. It looks like grapevines actually. But you get the idea. Big difference between the top one and the bottom one. So you have to kind of think. You can do flowers, you can do animals, you can do bugs are always great. Is there somebody that you could actually make this for and give to? So maybe you know somebody who loves elephants. Find a photo reference. It's okay this time. You can look something up on the internet. If you have a photo that you've taken on a trip, maybe do a nice panoramic. This one is not 100% done because I would probably add a little bit of a background color. If you look right here, this is just another good technique where the color starts and then fades. So I don't have to worry about like putting the background around all of this. I just put it here and then it kind of complements it. And I would probably put a little bit of something down here to balance that out. Same thing here. This one's sky. The same thing. It kind of starts and it fades so that I didn't have to do too much right around that elephant. You're going to start out, cut your papers, make a border, do a sketch, and then if you want, use the pen. Do the pen drawing first, and then you're going to do watercolor over it. So this did the pen drawing of the elephant first, and then the watercolor went over it. So there's a little bit of that, you know, a couple of different techniques. So feel free to use the pen for the details. If you want to just do pencil with watercolor and not erase the pencil, that's fine too. You can see the pen for those little bits on the arms and the legs and the texture kind of going on. But see how there's shadow right there on the underneath. There's shadow on the edge. There's shadow right here, like it's rounding. There's shadow down here, like that's rounding. So you cannot just do coloring book. Objects are fine. No hearts, no circles, no geometric patterns. Has to be an actual thing. Just pick objects that fit into your own capabilities, let's say. If you want to draw your dog, great. Make sure you're comfortable drawing your dog. If not, hey, get a couple of pieces of fruit, draw those. Find a photo that you like. Oh, sorry, the other thing you cannot do is you cannot do animation or characters. So no like Disney characters, no anime characters, nothing like that. You can't copy another person's artwork. You're looking at an object and trying to do it from real life. But if it's a picture of an elephant, obviously I did not take this picture. You can look up an elephant online. That's fine. It doesn't have to be your own photo. It doesn't have to be in front of you. You can use internet resources, but you can't do something like where you look up an artist. You can't do something like this. This is two-dimensional. This is two-dimensional. These are flat. You gotta try and go for depth. There's a time and a place for us to do cool design. You can do sports theme, anything like that is fine. There will be more details in the details for the assignment. All right.